Hello, so we're carrying on now with part 21, and we'll carry on, with the idea of lies and, lies within lies, truth within truth, truth within lies, lies within truths. I mean, this is a subject that is just riddled with things like that, and it's all going in different directions. It's all saying one thing to, contradict another. It's all kind of, someone's saying this and the other one's calling them a liar, and then they're saying they're a liar for calling them a liar. It really is a big, big, complicated, subject, concept, whatever we want to call it. And this is why I always say, we got to take some real time to look at this if you're really wanting to, kind of reach any, you know, reasonable thoughts, any reasonable beliefs and opinions. It's not something that can ever just be learnt in a short time, and it's certainly not something that you can, know about from just listening to one person's version. You really, really can't. There's always so many to learn. And what I can never stress enough is that when it comes to the Lutz story, we've just got to really start looking for, genuine one. Genuine is in the eye of the beholder, of course, or a matter of opinion. Things that actually came from them. Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to find. It's not the, clearest thing, but if we can take away all the famous versions of the story and we can, really just go to the heart of the matter and look at things that they actually said, we'll be looking at something that I always say is far more believable anyway. It's very plausible. It's not beyond the realms of possibility at all, and it's believable in the way that we think, well, yeah, we do hear of things like that. Lots of people do claim things like that. And it does sound disturbing. So that's why, as I always say, let's take away the nonsense and listen to what the actual people themselves said, because there's an awful lot of things out there saying that they said that aren't often the case at all. Yeah, so I very often feel that they were blamed for lies and embellishments and exaggerations and everything else that were always down to other people who came along later. Yeah, so again, that's my view of it personally. I can't verify that they always told the absolute truth. Of course, I can't. I can't prove to anyone that it's legitimate in any way. I just can't, because no one can. They can't. No one can ever prove things like this. But that's bringing me back to the old subject of when it comes to matters of the paranormal, you can't prove it. We can't prove it. That is the whole point. It defies logic. It doesn't make sense. It baffles us, and it just leaves so many unanswered questions. That is the whole point, that it doesn't add up. It's not rational. And that's why these things can't be proved or validated or verified. Because they just can't. It's always down to well, I believe that that's what I experienced, and some will say, yeah, I understand and I believe you. Others will say, that's absolute trash, you're making it up, or that's absolute trash, you've imagined it. And that's kind of the way it is. Yeah, so it's always kind of worth just looking at other sides. That's the thing that I do stress more than anything else in this whole thing. Let's just try to look at things in a nicer, fairer way. Now, talking of lies, there is a very well known part of this whole case and the whole history that George and Kathy Lutz did take a polygraph lie detector test, and it was said to have been conducted by one of the top professionals in that field, and they both passed with flying colours. Now, this was a time where they would have been asked, various things about what their experiences, what happened, and told to, confirm, did this really happen? And they would pass by saying, yes, it did. Yeah, it seemed as though both of them just flew through this test and nothing came back to suggest any lies. Now, this is a very, very tedious part when people will then come along and say, well, Anyone can fool a lie detector. Anyone can do it. All they got to do is wiggle their toes. All they got to do is be a very good liar, and that all they got to do is be very confident, etc., etc. And that's it, job done. So it doesn't prove anything. Well, yeah, okay, that's true enough. Yeah, of course it can happen, but we're talking two people, the same subject, the same things, both passed with flying colours. Now, you would think, really, if we're going to look at things practically and logically, if there were lies being told, surely it would have cropped up with one of them. Something would have been amiss with one of them, at least. Yeah. So you would think that passing it would at least count for something. Then, of course, we've got the argument of, well, lie detector tests are not admissible in court. Well, that could kind of beg the question then of what the hell is the point of them? Yeah, what are they for if they don't prove anything? I mean, it seems like a complete and utter waste of time if people are going to go through this and be questioned, even if we could even say interrogated, through all these gadgets and machineries, and just to be told, well, yeah, you've passed the test, but it doesn't mean a thing really. Yeah. So what the hell is the point? Yeah. Now, the way I like to put this myself is that, yeah, we know it couldn't be used in court. It's not absolute solid evidence, but it should at least stand for something. Yeah, I would certainly say that morally it should stand for something. To say, yeah, well, but they both passed. So isn't that at least saying to someone that they told the truth as they saw it? It doesn't prove that their experiences were paranormal or demonic or poltergeist related or anything like that. Of course, it doesn't prove that. But we could say that it goes a long way to confirming that they certainly believed that is what they went through. Yet we've still got people saying, no, 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 it's lies, it's lies, it's lies. I mean, it's got to be lies to a lot of people out there. That they just seem to need to see it that way, and refuse to budge. But I do feel that one way or another, we can say, well, is it a hoax then? Because I mean, the idea of a hoax is complete lies, but this is something to suggest that it wasn't lies. So at the very least, they believed something happened that was frightening them. And so in that respect, we could say, well, yeah, this actually should stand for something. It should be, kind of not just dismissed, not just like that. Yeah, but we got people who do stamp on it, and I feel that this is, a quite an important and significant part of the whole thing, that does get stamped on. Now, the really, really interesting thing, well, it'd be interesting to know. We can't know. It'd be close to impossible to know. But if they'd have come away from that test having failed it, and the tests had suggested that they were lying about everything, I wonder how many people would have then said, yeah, yeah, see, the polygraph, the lie detector proved it, they were liars. Yeah, see, they failed the test, so yeah, it was definitely a hoax. Yeah, we've got it there. There's the proof. Yeah, it's how people are looking at it, how people are perceiving it, and sometimes how people are twisting and manipulating certain information and certain, even facts. I mean, because it is a fact that they took it and they passed. But people will just turn it and make it fit into what they want it to be. Yeah, and I do feel that there's a lot of that around this particular, element of the story. Yeah, like I say, if it doesn't prove anything, then why bother? You know, but if we're just going to kind of, try to force it to fit what we want it to be, then again, not very fair, is it? Yeah. So that is something, again, let's keep thinking. Let's just keep going with it. Yeah. It's food for thought. I'll be back soon again. Thank you. Many blessings.